community. It's your girl, Salenna Green, with another episode of the Hot Girls Healing Podcast. We in season 4, we vibing. This is a podcast where we talk about various things and how they relate to healing. I am your host, and it's another episode. Today, I'm really excited because I'm talking to someone that I've known in community for a while. I know that this person is an artist. All of my favorite people are artists. It's a common denominator. Um, this person is someone I'm in an art collective with, and I'm just excited to talk to you, JT. We always have a good time. So we're talking with JT today. The topic is honoring your origin story. I'm going to allow JT to introduce himself to the people. Y'all know that. And then once he's done, we are going to hop right into the conversation. JT, let them know what they need to know about you before we get started. And thank you for being here.
Absolutely. No, thank you for having me. I'm honored. Season 4, it's a big accomplishment. But yes, I am JT or Jacquez. You guys don't be by either or. I go by, no strong preference either or. But yes, I I am the designer and the owner of Summer and Fall, also known as Seasons Clothing. You guys see me around. I don't know how much more you want me to tell them. Where do you want me? I know you got some questions for me, so I don't want to give
Well,
too much.
honestly, what you tell people is up to you. I feel like you know yourself best. We all know
Right.
ourselves best. So whatever you feel like people should know about you is what they should know. And then, everything else will come out through the conversation. So that's real too.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that for now. I don't know what kind of questions you got, so I'm gonna leave that there.
All right, that sounds good then. Okay, so hopping right into the topic of honoring your origin story, this is something like our origins
Mhm.
always relevant. You know what I mean?
Always.
And then like X-Men origins, okay, you know what I mean? Like I'm not mad at it. So that's the only other origins that I be knowing of. I know there's like maybe I think there's a skincare brand or something that's called Origins. No,
Never heard of it, but
you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't have strong feelings, but I love that. So X-Men Origins instantly comes to mind anytime I say the word origin. But
fair
I want
enough.
to know what that means to you. And I will say what it means to me just for the sake of, the audience. I always love to define things like this is the premise within which we are speaking. Whatever
Right.
else may be beyond that. But for me, when I'm saying honoring your origin story, for me your origin story is where did you start, you know what I mean, where did you begin? And I know and recognize and have experienced that everyone's origin story is not a field of sunflowers or strawberries. We know that. But where you started is always connected to where you're going. And that is something that
Exactly.
we can honor. We can honor our journeys and we can honor every version of ourselves. And so when I'm talking about honoring my origin story, that's what I'm talking about. On some main character shit. What about you?
I mean, honestly, shoot, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I agree. It's about your beginnings, where you started. Like you said, where you start has a lot to do about where you're trying to get to, where you're trying to finish, wherever that final destination is. It's about where you started. We all start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Not you
So I
bringing a
agree with
final destination to a 90s baby is crazy right now, but I'm
you.
gonna stay with it.
Just saying, wherever your final destination is, wherever it's that one place you're trying to get to, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah,
right. That was the best words for that. But no, I would agree with that definition of, your origin story as well, and the connection to where we're going, and absolutely where we rest. Because I always say, I want to take my last breath in the continent. Like, I want to be in the continent of Africa. I want to
mm,
live out the rest of my life. I want to move to the continent one day. And that has always been, important to me. And it's always been, for me, directly related to where I come from. So I asked, what is your origin story? What is it that you are honoring when it comes to your origin story?
yeah. So what I'm honoring with my origin story is pretty much staying true to where it all started, where it all began. And sometimes I don't know if I should start to, I don't want to confuse folks, but sometimes there's more than just one place that you're starting from. You know what I mean? So I know for me, where I've started from, like, I came from being poor. A lot of people may not know that. People say I'm bougie and all this other stuff. Like, I don't think so, but whatever. But I came from not having a lot. I came from valuing family, valuing your faith, valuing all these good things. That's where I came from. So I do my best to keep that inside, keep that instilled in me, because honestly, a lot of those things are what is what kind of got me to where I am now. My mother was a single mother. She was raising me and one of my sisters. Um, and hey, that was a strong woman. You know what I mean? Like she gave it all until she couldn't no more. Passed away when I was 10. So I carry a lot of her strength within me as well. You know what I mean? So for my origins, there's so many pieces. You know what I mean? We could spend an hour probably talking about it, but we ain't gonna do that. So don't worry, people. It's gonna be okay. We ain't doing that. but that's like one piece of it, right? Another
Mhm.
piece of it is just um remember like what it was like to like in terms of the clothing brand stuff. Like remember what it was like to uh not be able to afford some of the name brand stuff, even though I went through that when I was a child too. But we still kind of experienced that a little bit in adulthood. Um, you know, just I remember like I said, there's so many people. I don't even know where to start right now, where to go, but just remembering like what it took for me to get here. Shoot,
Mhm.
there's like I feel like I put like I give a little bit of credit to me pursuing my education. That was a fight, right?
Mhm.
That got me to where I am now. Uh, when it comes to the clothing brand and things like that, there was times where I'm like, man, I told the story to people. If you're familiar with it, you already know it. But one reason why I started the clothing brand was because when I was looking into my own personal style, and things that I liked, it was hard to find sometimes. So I sat there, I'm like, why not start my own? Why not? And growing up in my origin, part of my origin story is also that I experienced a lot of fear growing up, meaning too afraid to have my own voice, too afraid to pursue certain things, too afraid to be as being looked at as weird, too afraid of uh, the final result. Like maybe what if this doesn't come out the way I wanted to? What if this doesn't take off the way I wanted it to? So I remember those days, and I had to, when it comes to your origins, there's things that you're going to keep from it. There's things you're going to take away, like meaning disperse of. So one of the things I'm dispersing from, I already said what I kept, like my mother's strength, things like that. But I'm dispersing that fear. I dealt with a lot of fear growing up. And then, I feel like we all kind of deal with that when we're younger because, sometimes people around us don't make fun of us for, man, you want to start a clothing brand? Man, you want to do music? You can't sing. You can't, you know, I had to disperse of that stuff. I dispersed of those type of people. I dispersed of like that energy. I had to keep staying positive no matter what the results are. You know
Cause
what I mean?
child, don't let certain people catch you believing in yourself.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that because it'll make them insecure. Like, damn, I don't believe in myself. How dare you believe in yourself? You'll be like,
Yeah, I really like how you framed that. Because when I was thinking about my origin story, I was like, yeah, it is more than just the circumstances in which I was
hmm
originally introduced. It's also what was the original version of me. Like when I came to consciousness, when I started making decisions for myself, what were my first intentions? You know what I mean? That is
hmm
also my origin story when I think about that. And so I really like how you split that up as well. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
probably could have cleaned that
we
up a
have
little better, but we on camera, so I get a little nervous. But
you so funny. No, no need to at all. It's just a conversation, but
for sure, for sure.
amongst friends. So
Absolutely.
we're definitely good.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but relatable content on a lot of those things. I too was raised by a single mother. I too um, experienced poverty growing up. I think for my family, though, like she would have been fine had she not had so many kids. No judgment, right? Like, no
Right.
judgment. Like, I'm number 11 of 12. So, had she stopped having
Sheesh.
kids, right, earlier, things would be different. So,
Shout out to mom.
I'm not even trying to judge this lady, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I think in my experience, some of the things that were hard growing up was because of the size of my family and a single mom combined, which obviously wasn't what she planned. She talked about that a lot actually. She was like, I never thought I would be a single mom. And I think that's an experience that people don't think of when they think of single moms. And
Yeah.
for me, I'm not sure what the narrative is. I'm not sure if single moms are choosing this right in the streets, like
Hmm.
what the narrative is on single moms. But my mom always made it very clear that she was married. She had or she, planned to be married. She planned to be a housewife. That was what she was doing, and then life just did not turn out. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, she just, I think, ended up having too many kids for the situation. So, yeah, poverty was right there.
Oh
And
yeah.
she was able to be very resourceful. She was able to navigate systems to make sure that we were able to have what we needed. And that's something that very much is a big part of my origin story resources, either accessing them or being a part of
Mm.
distributing them, that directly tied to what it is that I'm trying to do, not only now, but in the future. Um, so definitely circumstances, the feelings that I felt a lot of fear in my childhood. I faced a lot of neglect in my childhood, um, which people think big family means you're always gonna have some.
Right.
There's a lot of misconceptions of big families. I both like did not have any time alone or privacy, and was also like neglected and just
Yeah, that's tough.
so. Um, a lot of things that I experienced, I also had to shed, and I think that is a part of honoring my origin story. How do I protect and like reconnect with that origin version of myself? That there was no parts of that version of me that was internalized with fears or
Mm.
worried about people pleasing or these certain things that I then had to work myself out of as an adult. So I really love not only being like, yeah, my origin is a place that I'm healing from and shedding
Right.
practices from and patterns, but it's also something that I can return to and can honor and can protect within these, confines.
Right. I love that. I love that, friend. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a trip though to honor your origin story. I think took some time for me just because and I don't know if this is all black families or just mine, but you might
Yeah.
not know the origin story beyond yourself, right? Like we know our
Hmm.
first thoughts and what we were experiencing as kids, but we don't always know what our parents experienced as kids. We don't always
No.
know what our grandparents were up to, and those are all things that were affecting our origin stories as well.
Exactly, because they have a lot of trauma too. I've talked to a few people about this. It's like our parents, grandparents, they have a lot of trauma and we don't even realize it. They went through some things, experienced, some moments in their lives that thankfully we don't got to go through. Some of us may have not. Whether it's like racism, segregation, um, a different type of poverty. Like there's things that they had to go through that we'd have to worry about dealing with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also another thing is, I can't speak for other communities. We won't speak about the black community right now,
Hmm.
but we both can probably agree that mental health wasn't even like a thing really
Oh,
for like our
wow.
parents and our grandparents. You know what I mean? Like like right now in 2026, even still, it's like there's a lot of black people, from the older generation. It's like, dang, they almost treat mental health like it's a new invention because it's nothing that they it's not,
No, actually, no. And then at the same time, in some families, like unless you're visibly displaying a mental breakdown, like no one's even taking your mental health seriously. Like you're good.
no. No, not even with your physical health. Like I know my mother went through that. My mother had an illness, and people didn't believe her because she looked a little better on the outside than really what was going on internally. And you ain't
Mhm,
sick. They didn't learn till like it was like in her last days. Like, oh shit, you really sick? Like,
mhm.
yo, and it's
Yeah,
just crazy
it's
stuff, man.
invisible disability, invisible illnesses. It'd be so hard because we're in a culture that's like programmed to get as much information as they can without speaking to you. Like we want to be
Hmm.
in America, you are like taught, like you should be able to tell everything about a person by looking at them. And if you can't, like you can be mad about that. Like they did something wrong.
Man,
It's a
it goes back to the basic. It's like if you don't know until you ask. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. We're
And then
all so much and that's
yeah,
how it be in our families. Like sometimes you ask and you still don't get a clear answer, but a lot of the
no,
time we don't know to ask.
exactly. Sometimes you gotta be willing to accept that you might not get that answer. You gotta accept that you might not get the information that you want, and that's okay. Especially when it comes to other people's business, it's like accept that they may not feel comfortable sharing that with you.
Hmm.
For some people, you know what I'm saying?
And is that not a way
Yeah.
to honor it? You know, honoring,
Hmm.
like you said, those stories and experiences that our ancestors had. That in my case, I'm like, I don't even know if I would have survived some of the stuff that I know that people in my family have had. So,
Yeah.
like knowing that my family was a part of the Great Migration, like I'm sure
Oh
that wasn't
wow.
easy on any Black people who had to,
Mm-hmm.
get up and move from the South to wherever to escape violence. And the part that's insane about it is like so much of that is still prevalent to this day, but we experience it
Hmm.
in a way that's just different enough that we have
Hmm.
distance from those experiences. We literally have
Exactly.
to imagine it. So there's a lot to honor in that space with just being like, yeah, you know what? Like I know it happened, but I don't need to know the details if this is something that you can't provide.
Exactly. And then, like you said, I would love to know a lot more about my own origins as well. Like there's some things on my father's side. I'm not really, super close with him, whatever.
Hmm.
But but there's some things I would like to know about them. Like my family is really small on that side as compared to my mom's side. It's huge, you know. Um, but I know like my origins, besides us being the Pacific Northwest, actually runs through the South, like most Black people. I want to know more about what it was like down in Louisiana back in wherever time they were growing up. Because the only thing I remember is my grandmother told me that wherever they're growing up was some really small town by the bayou, something like that.
Hmm.
That's all I really remember, and them and a bunch of siblings. But yeah, there's a lot more that I would like to know about that. But another thing I always think about is always trying to remember my own origins so I could be able to share that with my kids when
Mm.
they get older. Like they want to know, Dad, how'd you start the clothing line? Or Dad, what was it like when you were growing up in South Seattle? Like, Dad, what was it like when, you did your first like small acting role or whatever, like whatever the case may be. Like, I want to be able to always remember these things. It's always good to start normalizing journaling. I know a lot of people like to journal nowadays. Yeah, I really want to normalize journaling. Like, I haven't been doing that for myself just yet. I used to, but I need to get back to that because it's like it's not only for you to remember your own origins, but it's also just so you can always remember who you are too as well
Yeah, well,
in
it's
current
never
time.
too late. It's never too late to
Yeah.
get back into journaling. So,
Oh no, absolutely not. I will. I will. You know me and you. We be having so much going on, but
and
gotta make that time. Gotta make that time for it.
I was
Gotta make
just
that
trying to
time
make
for
plans with a friend. I was like, I got 3 days this month that I can do
it.
mess. But that's the life of an entrepreneur at times. Okay, it's not always,
Yeah, who you telling?
but
Who you
just
telling?
in doing the work and honoring our stories. You know what I mean? Like for me,
Oh yeah.
that's a lot of what inspired me to even start this podcast, the Hot Girls Healing Podcast. I'm the hot girl.
Hmm.
I'm the one who's healing. I'm honoring my origin story with this podcast. I am honoring my origins with the Hot Girls Healing Seattle pilot, the reality TV version of my podcast.
Okay.
The more I know about not only my family's personal history, but the more I know about Black history in the US. Like
Yeah.
I've always loved history, and people have always looked at me weird when I said that because they think that our history is just slavery. So they're like, "Why would you like
Nah,
history?"
that'd be pissing me off.
Bitch, why wouldn't I? Do you know how many things my people have done?
I'm tired
Do
of
you know
seeing
how
slave
many ways
movies
we
pop up.
contributed? You know what I mean?
I agree with you, and Yeah, like I said, that pissed me off because you're right. They always want to talk about slavery. It's like we were more than just slaves. There's so many other different things we could talk about. That's all I was mentioning. I used to get so mad when they was come up with a new slave movie, like a Harriet Tubman movie or whatever. I'm just like, y'all, can we've done so much. Can we talk about the inventors? Like, can we talk about like the airmen? Can we talk about like there's so many. I think they did a movie on that, but
Yeah, I didn't watch the Harriet Tubman movie for different reasons because she's literally one of my favorite ancestors. I feel like all of us are spiritually descendants of Harriet Tubman.
oh
But
yeah,
I tend to agree. I think that certainly the way, right, that slave
hmm
movies are shot, the stories that are told a certain way. Because you
they
know what
are.
was also happening during enslavement? A lot of resistance, a lot of revolts.
Yep,
Plantations was getting burned down.
sure was.
People was getting killed. People were escaping. People were helping
Hmm.
people escape. And why not tell the movies about that? You know what I mean? But that would be telling Black history. So to tell
Yeah,
white history, they tell the story of enslavement, of captivity, of bondage, because that is their
exactly. I don't know if we have, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but have we had a movie yet that was made that was about you know slaves moving up north, like what that transition was like, or like what it was like for them to get there, like actually going through moving through different states just to get up north? Like, do we have any movies like that yet? I'm just asking. I don't
Not
know.
that I know of, but when I tell you 12 Years a Slave is about free Black people in the North and how white people used to kidnap them and force them back into,
Oh
or
yes,
not
yeah, I've
back,
seen that
because
one.
they would have never been enslaved. Because another thing that we don't talk about a lot is the entirety of enslavement, there were free Black people the entire time.
Yep,
There were free Black people too. So there's a lot of stories that could be told, but they actually chose to make
exactly.
a movie. The only one that I know of during that time is about how a Black man who was free was kidnapped and then sold into enslavement for 12 years in the South, and then had to like fight to become free again because, you know, no one was believing him when he was like, no,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
And
So
may I
those are
mention,
the stories that are being told.
and the man mentioned, I'm a piggyback off of that. And that movie never got no damn good ending. They still kidnapped it. It's a oh, we don't know what happened to him. Like, what do you mean? You remember that part at the end? I was like, come on now. The man finally got free after 12 years. Now all of a sudden he went missing and nobody knows what happened to him. We know what happened to him.
Right. So those are the stories being told, those are the narratives being told. And honestly, that's a lot of why I love producing, because then I get to choose
Hmm.
what story is told. And
Exactly.
I've always wanted to be an actor, producer, and director. I took classes for it, and like I was getting a psychology degree, but there was a lot of times in college where I was like, let me go over here to these art classes real quick and see what's really good. So
I'm not mad at you.
yeah, I took some filmmaking classes in college and things like that to get me more in the production bag. But I love producing. I love producing this podcast. I love telling our stories and highlighting it and having conversations. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Black history somebody could look up based off of this, just
Hmm.
that short part of our conversation. So it's worth knowing. Our stories are worth knowing and telling and celebrating. And our
Absolutely.
stories, right? Like the story of enslavement is not actually our story at all. The
No.
story of resistance, the story of how we made it through, that is actually Black history. And they're not telling that.
Exactly. Hit the nail on the head.
It's like,
You know,
shame.
but I'm definitely looking forward to your future projects, though. I know you say you want to produce, you want to act, you want to. I'm looking forward to whatever you got coming up next. And also, if you need an extra actor or anything like that, I got you.
No, I'm actually glad that we're circling back because not you didn't say nothing. It's the
I
multi-talentedness for me. Like hella
shouted.
y'all keep doing this in the collective. There's other people too where I'm like just walking up all unsuspected and then they're on stage performing and rapping and I'm like,
Yep.
wait, no, because your amazing paintings are over there. So how is this happening right
Shout
now?
out to Yolanda.
Yes, shout out to Yolanda. Like she is such a talented artist. Like her
Yes, she is.
paintings are just breathtakingly
Yes,
gorgeous.
they are.
And then she also out here being a
Out
lyricist.
here with the bars.
The amount of talent in this collective. Shout out to
So
Fancy
much.
together.
Shout out to Fancy. Also shout out to Chris
See?
Carthern. He's the one who gave me my first acting role.
Come on. Collective members
Yep,
supporting each other, him singing
absolutely.
that. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so how that came about. So Chris, he's in the cosplay. I believe he also does tech.
Hmm.
He's multifaceted like majority of the people we know.
Hmm.
And he did the A Train movie, which is his own spin off the character from The Boys, if anybody's ever seen The Boys. So
Yes, I
yeah.
just got into the boys. There's a movie, the fuck. There's a whole other show that's a spin off from that show.
Th-
I'm still
Is
like
there this
hooked
spin
up.
off from that show? I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen the
called like
original. There's
it's like youth. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I know what you're talking
you
about.
know
I
that
forgot the
one?
name of
Okay.
it though. I forgot the
Yeah,
name
I
of it,
can't
but I do know
remember
what
the
you're
name
talking
of it
about.
either. And they don't need that free promo. They good.
Exactly. Y'all can find it easily. But yeah, so he did the first one, and I was a fan of the first one. I loved what he did. He made it fun and playful. He also likes to make music too, so then he's incorporate that into the movie. And
Mhm.
then I remember one day I told him I was like, if you ever need an extra person, cause like I was telling you, I was like, hey, I can help you out. I need someone to play the brother in the second one. It's like, shoot, I'll do it. He's you will? I was like, sure, all right. So we got together. We did like some shoots and stuff like that. Just me dressed in like I think y'all probably seen on Instagram. I was dressed in like some of the clothes for the character. And then when we start shooting, that was a whole different ball game. I never acted. I never did no type of acting before. Never been a thespian. But when I say it was a little bit more tricky, like some people think acting is easy. It's not that easy. It really takes some
Come
training. It
on.
takes some skill. But when I tell you, yeah, there was moments where we had to be like cut, moments where we had to do like some takes a couple times over again, and I had to be in a wheelchair for the movie, by the way. So then there
Yeah,
was
because his
parts,
brother ends up like
yeah,
in a wheelchair. Yeah, I'm that far in the story, so I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not on the
So
current season, but I'm right there.
they see you ready to get where I'm going. But
Yeah.
there's times when I was in that wheelchair and I'm trying to stay in character, and I'm getting hitting walls, and I'm getting, and I had to say, all right, cut. I tell, all right, cut. Let me come in. Let me do this over again. But but nonetheless, but when I tell you that it was such a fruitful experience, I really enjoyed it. I loved it, and I'm always open to get into other roles. I'm even willing to do them for free just because I actually enjoy it. I might
Yes.
actually love it, but
Look, come on. Look, let Chris know I be acting too. Slide my little card over. I'm sliding my card over to you.
yeah, we can start producing some little short films and something. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We can
No,
all work together.
I love it. More collaboration. We'll talk more about that. But
We
this
will.
is all directly tied to my origin story. Remember that version of myself that I was talking about back in the day? Actor,
Hmm.
singer, even before I realized I
Oh,
had asthma.
what? You got vocals?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
we need
I
you to
love
perform.
painting, like all of the art forms that I'm just now getting back into exploring more and more. The mosaic style collage type situation that I'm doing with
Hmm.
my both
Hmm.
photography scraps, all of that
I've
is
seen that. I've seen the
ongoing.
piece you did. I loved it. It was nice.
Thank
Definitely original.
Yeah, I'm working on another one. It's a smaller size, and I'm doing three. It's a series. It's called
Okay.
like the series is called The Point. Like you know those posts where they're like, "This is the point. Like this is what we're here for."
Yeah.
So I was at a meeting. You know how you be doodling.
Yeah. Of
But the
course I do.
science says that when you doodle, it actually helps you understand and retain more what you're learning. So doodling does not mean we're not
Mm.
paying attention. But I was doodling and I started doing these little sketches of like the point. And so now I'm making those sketches into new mosaic collages. And so I'm really excited about
I
that.
can't wait to see it.
All
I
of
can't
which is
wait to see it.
honoring me, my origin
You
version.
got to.
You
You
really
got
do
to.
have to. And
And
I
that's
love
part of
that.
yeah.
I love what you were doing when you said that you started the fashion brand because you wanted to find or create more clothing like what you like. Can you talk more about your journey with fashion? Like, is that your origin
Yeah.
version?
So yeah, it goes a little bit deeper. So my origin with fashion was I've always kind of explored my own style as a young kid, with what I had, mind you, not by buying new stuff, by using what I had. I was like, okay, I ain't got no money. So let me see what I could put together in this closet, make my own little fit. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
do that. And I used to try my best to try to come up with little new little things. Growing up, we all go through phases. Like I used to go through like middle school, high school. I would do little phases where I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I got laughed at a little bit. 'Cause I call myself putting something together. I'm just like, I didn't really let it phase me too much, to be honest with you. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm like, this is what like, hey, this is what I did. Like, this is my creation. I wasn't really mad at it.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of part of my origins. And then it took me some time to, I tell people, there's nothing wrong with figure out your style. It takes time. Some people expect to get it as soon as they start getting involved into
Yeah.
fashion. You don't always get it right then and there, that same day, that same week, that same year. It took me some time to get to a point where like I found my own style. Like, okay, this is how I dress. This is what I like to wear.
Everything be a journey, and it's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm able to be vulnerable enough to talk about it, and say like,
Mhm.
hey, sometimes I got laughed at, sometimes I didn't,
Kids
sometimes
are
I got
so
complimented.
like they will laugh at anything. Like JT, when I tell you I also got laughed at, and I'm not like I got laughed at. I'm saying I
Yeah,
got laughed at because I wore one sock that was black and one that was white. My outfit was black and white. Like,
it's
kids
funny
will
though,
make fun of you for anything. I was like, but like that was me trying to explain, justify.
and that's okay, and that's okay. You
Yeah, so
know.
relatable content. This actually reminds me, there was a lot of times where I could tell I was cringy to other kids, especially in the like adolescent area, like
Hmm.
adolescent teenage years, because I've
You're not
always been
alone.
me. You know what I mean? Like I am that I am. And it has not always been easy for people to
I was the
accept.
same way. It's
Like I'm a
okay.
nerd. Yes, I love reading. I love books. Like people used to be like, "How come every time I see you, you got a book in your hand?" Because a bitch like to read. Okay, one plus one is two.
Yeah, don't let them knock what you love and what you enjoy. Don't let nobody do that. Don't let
Yeah,
nobody do
because
that.
that is how you honor your origin story. How you honor that inherent version of yourself is by not letting anyone change those things. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't over here burning ants with a magnifying glass. Like I was wearing mismatched socks. Like give me some space.
Look, people will be surprised about everyone's origins, like yours, like mine, like even with the art thing. People don't know. Like I've always been into art. That's always been my thing as a child. My mom bought me like a little easel. She'd give me like the giant papers for me to paint on. She'll give me
Mm,
regular colors. I get watercolors. She let me do my thing. I've always wanted to do music. I used to have like little guitars, keyboards, stuff like that because I I just want to do music. I used to just like we said, we know about the fashion part, but I've always been into the arts as part of my origin story. Like in high school, um, I used to be in an art class. I think I took it a couple of times. I loved the class. Sometimes I pop in there during the periods I was a TA just to see what they're up to, what they're working on, what they're drawing on. Uh, and I was always that kid. I spent a little bit more time on my projects because I really was into my projects to the point where there's some I didn't even get to finish. And my teacher was like, I really loved the concept that you made. I wish you would have finished it. So I was excited to see it. So I'm trying to get back into drawing more, not just for like, not, I'm not talking about sketching up nothing for the clothes. I mean, like getting back to me actually playing around with the pen and paper, the
mhm.
paintings and stuff like that. I want to take the time to get really
Yeah.
just dive back into that.
Yeah, I got more into watercolor again. And I remember I was taking this training and this the woman who was leading it, she asked us to go back to when we remember falling in love with the particular art form that we were thinking about at that time. And I remember I was in like the third grade and I remember just like being in art class. It was on Wednesdays. And Wednesday was my favorite day of the week because I got to go to art class. And I remember looking down at that basic Crayola watercolor palette. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I
I
was
had those
just
too.
so happy painting on my little copy, color copy or printer copy paper. They was never giving us the right actual paper to paint.
No, they weren't. We both had that thick stuff, but
Right. I'm like, now that I actually do watercolor, I'm like, but it's fine. Like we were some third graders. I get why you didn't do
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
but
we ain't about to spend no money on that good product for y'all.
right. But it was beautiful. reflecting on that moment and just being like, damn, I really am honoring the parts of me that have always wanted to create, the parts of me that have always wanted to express, and thus honoring my origin story.
Absolutely.
Finding that out and that feeling, because everything that we do, um, that is our origin, obviously we're not keeping. We already talked about that. If you're,
Hmm.
if you are burning ants with a magnifying glass, don't keep that. Don't
No, let
keep
that go.
that. don't keep
Yeah, let that
it.
go.
But there's parts of yourself, and this is me also promoting self love. There's parts of yourself that are at your core, and there's nothing wrong with that part of you. There's
Amen.
nothing wrong with that part. So there's
I want
always
those.
there's always some you to love and some you to honor.
Absolutely. And then even with what you do now, what I do with the clothing, that itself has an origin too as well. You know what I mean? And it's important to stick to that because I already be finding moments. You might too. Like you find moments where you're starting to kind of stray away where you started from. You're like, well, maybe I should start making this, or maybe I should start doing my podcast like that. And then you have to remind yourself of your origin for your art. And
Mm,
you're like, no, you can't stray away from that. You don't ever want to stray away from where you started. You want to figure out how you can make it evolve.
yeah, progress.
That's why exactly. That's why I had to teach myself. I was like, nope, don't, because sometimes we start stray away from where we started. We start doing other things that's not original. It's not
Yeah,
organic.
yeah. Because you're not even tapped into that vein of you that started it.
Nope.
It's coming from us, and thus is original. So, yeah,
Exactly.
that's real. That's very real. And again, ties to the ancestors because
Hmm.
that's a huge part of it. I found that I'm doing things that my ancestors did. and I'm doing it in a new way.
Yes.
I'm doing it in my way, but I'm doing what my ancestors did. And that is so cool because we don't have to reinvent the wheel to be
No,
innovative or creative or to make something new. You can evolve something else and bam, you got something new. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
right.
you have to trust where you are coming from. And that doesn't mean trust the environment you came from. I don't. But
Neither do I.
it means it means trust the you that you're coming from. Whatever version of you that you were got to you to where you are now. And this version of you wants to be the next one. So you can trust it too, right? To at least to a certain
Yep.
degree. So that's what I'm saying. Like honor that. Honor this continuation of yourself, this evolution of yourself. I sit in gratitude of the past versions of myself that were so sad and so discontent with their life that they chose to start their self-love healing journey and get me to where I am now. I'm so grateful for those versions.
Yep. Me too. Me too. Those are the parts that keep you motivated. They keep you hungry,
Yeah.
keep you ambitious.
And they keep you with your eyes on the prize. I was listening
Absolutely.
to oh, actually, I wasn't listening to anything in particular. I was scrolling through social media and this video of Kev on stage. He's a comedian that I think is funny, even though he Christian. No shade to Christian. See how I be saying stuff like it just don't
I'm
even
Christian. Go and do that.
sound. No, I was raised Christian. I'm like, I get it, but I'm just saying like I've very much moved away from all religion. It's not even just Christianity. I just think organized religion is not necessarily for me. And it's for other people. It's just not for me. And that's okay. But anyway,
Yeah, ain't nobody judging you.
he is funny. And he does a lot of like Christian content. And so that's like anyway, he was talking about what he was talking about wasn't didn't have anything to do with religion. He was saying that when you are going for that goal, you have to see it clearly. You have to see yourself there. And that is such a huge part of my manifestation journey. Each version of myself sees the next version of myself. I see what I want my life to be. I know what it feels like, tastes like, looks like, you know what I mean? All the five senses.
Right.
Get into all of those things. What does safety look like, feel like, taste like? You know what I mean? Go down all of it. What does, belonging? What does success? What does pleasure? What does trust? In all of those, what is it? Because you have to
Hmm.
find that out for yourself. So then you have that compass that leads you through that evolution.
There you go. Well said, my sister. Well said. I know if you had a mic, you drop it. I know.
Right, right. I'm spitting tonight, but it's really just because
Bars.
of how much this is real for me. Like, I really start to feel emotional. And for me, that's big because I was a person who just didn't with emotions for a very long time. I was like, how do feel
Yep.
around college time? I was like, so y'all be like emoting and stuff. Okay, that's interesting. Let me look into this. And I realized that I am a deep feeler and I was afraid of those feelings. I just preferred not to. But I'm a passionate squirrel, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not the passionate squirrel. I don't know. It made me think about that movie called Hoppers with the little animals. That little Disney movie came out when you said that. I don't know why.
I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that, but my niece, she wants to see it. So I definitely know what you're
You got to
talking
take her. I took my god kids. They liked it. They
about.
enjoyed it.
Oh, okay, say that.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
at the end of the day, just it's about honoring that. But what are the things that haven't been said? What would be your last word? What do you want people to ruminate on when this episode ends and they go to journal their thoughts and feelings from it?
What I want people to take away from this is to be honest with yourself. I know a lot of us struggle with that. I know we always want to see the best versions of ourselves, but we never want to see the worst parts of ourselves. So I think when you go in journal, you need to be able to let it all out.
Mm,
Like let it be known who you are, good and bad,
mm.
when you
Look,
go in
I
journal.
always say if you lying to you, I know you lying to me.
Yeah, exactly. So don't lie to yourself. And there's no reason for you to lie to yourself. 'Cause ain't nobody but you and yourself in that moment you have that pen and paper in your hand. So, and
And
another
that's
thing, no one
true.
got to read it. No one got to see it. It's like that. This is for you. You're not doing this for nobody else but yourself.
And honestly, what I'm hearing so much is that if we're spending too much time and energy on judging ourselves, where's the room to honor who we are
Hmm.
and where we've been? And those, you know what I mean? Like, if there's no room, you can't judge and honor something at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to choose one, Buki. You honoring yourself or you judging yourself?
Yeah,
JT,
instead of judging,
no.
instead, look, and I'm trying to tell people like, instead of judging yourself, learn how to give yourself grace.
Yeah. And
You're only human.
compassion, and you'll find that you will start being able to give it to other people too.
Exactly. And
'Cause-
that's hard to do. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Take some practice, but yes,
mm-hmm.
indeed.
Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you, when I was unfeeling, I was also like pretty rude to myself internally. Like, I was not kind. My inner voice was not kind. It was very judgmental. Anytime
Hmm.
I didn't meet my standards, I was like, well, you suck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't speak to myself that anymore, like that way anymore. I don't allow myself to, and thus I don't allow others to either. It's very much a it starts here type
That's
situation.
right.
So, if I had my last words for y'all around this topic, it would be to trust yourself. In honoring your origin story, you have to be able to trust who you are. And I think that comes through reflection. I will say, I feel like I knew myself pretty young, but again, like neglect. I had time to think. Okay, so I had a lot of time to think as a kid, and I think that during that time, I got to know myself pretty deeply. I knew what I wanted to do, I knew what I didn't want to do, I knew who I wanted to be and who I didn't want to be by the time I was like 7, probably 6. 6 was when I was like, I probably will never run for president because I don't like politics, right? So if I was thinking that by 6, it was figured out. Like, I was
I'm with
thinking
you on that. But that's a whole different story. We don't get, we're not gonna get started on that.
Relatable content, though, I'm telling you.
Oh
So
yeah.
trust
Yeah.
yourself and get to know yourself so that you can trust yourself, right? Because who out here trusting something they don't know? I
Hmm.
don't see nobody. Like,
Yeah, you gotta
I
get
ain't.
to know yourself before you get to know other people too. So some people forget that
Yes.
part.
Yes. And I understand moving on faith and all that. Have some faith in yourself,
Yep.
right? Okay. Whatever you're doing, give it to yourself. Faith, okay, in you. Trust in yourself. What else? Okay, do it for
That's a
yourself.
dance move.
Get it from you. Get it from you, right?
Hit it one more time.
I
There
said,
you go.
rush hour.
Exactly.
But no, we play too much, y'all. Stop. Remind us what we're here for. No, I'm just kidding. We here for a good time, not a long time.
A
So,
good time. A good time.
but
A
on
good
that note,
fruitful
y'all,
time.
JT is about to let y'all know where you can find him, how you can connect with him, and what kind of stuff he ready to collaborate on.
Yeah. Well, you know, you guys can find me, of course, on Instagram. I'm gonna be real. That's where I am most of the time. If anyone who knows me well, you already know that. So you can find me on my personal page. It's Jacquez, Jacquez. And then at the beginning and the end of that is gonna be an X. So X, Jacquez X. That's my Instagram. For business, for designing, for the fashion, swf.seasons.clothing. That's gonna be the Instagram where you'll find all my clothes anytime I'm doing any type of fashion events or
Yeah.
any new commercials I drop. I'm actually working on a new commercial for some of the products that I haven't really promoted that well yet, but it's coming. It's in the works. We're getting started. We're still planning the date where we're going to shoot and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, and then if you guys want the website, it's also going to be on. It should be on both my profiles, but it's going to be allseasonlong.shop. That's the website. You might put the HTTP to slash slash, to make it pop up, but that's where it is, and yeah, that's where you can find me, y'all. You said what I got coming up? That you said we had that too. What did you say?
Oh, I was saying what you're down to collaborate on, but you said
Oh, I'm down. Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember what was next. Well, I'm down to the collaborate on. Um, Honestly, anything. Like I said, I love art. It could be some, you know, form of acting. It could be for a short film, a short play, fashion. I'm always down to collaborate on fashion. But like I always tell people, and this is not rude. This is nothing. I Business wise, I would tell anybody this. I'm willing to collaborate on fashion as long as it makes sense.
mm,
It has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if you make waffles for a living or whatever, I don't know, you got a waffle company, you're like, you know what? I want to make a coat. It's like, how can we make that make sense? Just an example. That's some random. I don't know anybody who does that, by the way. But it's like, okay, how can we make that sense? I want to make a bag that has waffles on it. It's like, that doesn't make sense with what I
with
create.
your brand.
How can
You're
our
right.
brands come together to where it makes sense?
Yeah, and
That's
y'all,
all.
this one is nice. Like I have a purse. I got my husband a shirt, which mind you, his shirts are such high quality. They're not even allowed to be called t-shirts. Like it's literally like a luxury like
Yes.
clothing item.
I'll even tell the people what it's called. It's a French terry fabric. It's a combination of polyester and cotton.
Mm.
I handpick all my own fabrics too, by the way, you guys. This is not. Okay, can I throw something out there for the people?
Always.
Okay. I do not buy stuff wholesale. Please do not assume that. I buy people say, no, I do not. I handpick the fabrics. I do all the measurements. All the fabric that you guys buy and purchase and wear for all of my people who already has one of my garments, all that stuff is cut. That fabric is cut and measured and stitched. I I, I just want to throw that out there. That is not wholesale.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a difference, you know what I mean? And for me, I felt like I could feel that that wasn't wholesale, but
Yeah, but I've seen people because, and mind you, I know that's the people who don't take their time to sit and look at it, touch it, feel it,
hmm
try it on. Because once the people who do, they're, oh yeah, I can tell this isn't, you know, you didn't just get this from Gildan or wherever. I don't know, but yeah, I go to throw that out there.
Yes, it's
I
quality fashion.
it
And
is it's quality.
I've actually modeled for you as well, which was a really nice
Sure
experience.
did. Tell them.
So he does fashion shows as well, y'all. If you're out here in these streets and you see him on a runway, do not be surprised. If you see his fashions out there and then him coming out at the
Yes.
end to do the designer walk, don't act surprised, you know.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm always looking for new models for people. You may model, like you may have been behind a camera and did some like shoots and stuff like that. But I always like to welcome people who have never touched a runway before.
Mm.
So I think that was your first time, right? On the was it your first time on the
Oh,
runway?
no,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it? Okay, thanks.
I've
I
done
can
that
remember.
since
I
I
can
was
remember.
13, but maybe I brought some freshness to it. I want to think.
I can remember that. I can remember if you told me it was your first time or not. That's why I asked. But
It'd
you
be
guys,
like,
she did an amazing job. Selena is a natural. Okay, make sure you guys
yeah,
know that she's a natural.
I actually haven't been on the runway in a while, so that was my first time
Mm,
back on the runway since probably like 23 or 22.
get
So,
back out there.
yeah,
Trying to tell you
it was
now.
a
Do
return.
it. Get back out there.
I will say that I was turned off from modeling for a while, but I'm very much getting back into it. So you will see me on more
Yes,
runways. You'll see me
I might
doing more
need you again.
shoots and all that good stuff, especially with these new projects that I'm doing. A good photo shoot every once in a while just helps to promote things. So you will see me modeling more.
Good. We all need that.
Yes, we do. Look, we all need to see some more happy Black people. And if you see me, you are
And
seeing
you
a happy
do.
Black person. So,
Yep.
with that
And
being
it.
said, y'all,
Yeah.
thank you for joining me and thank you for being here, JT. This has been
It's an
another
honor.
episode of the Hot Girl Stealing Podcast. I'm your host, Salenna Green. You can always join conversations online using the hashtag Hot Girl Stealing. And if you see me out in these Seattle streets, make sure you say hey, and I'll say hey back. JT, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you,
This was such
sis.
a good conversation, and I
It
appreciate you
was.
so much in community as well.
Right back at you. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor. Keep it up. You're doing great.
Thank you. All right, healing community. I will see y'all next time. Bye.